Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. In the first part of the video, I'm going to talk about how to read this letter by letter using Loren Sherman's script, which this is a key to. And in the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about what lines are kind of optional and can be modified and what ones you shouldn't really touch if you want it to still be legible. So you can have the tattooer to skip to the end of this, but it's kind of nice to know yourself how everything says what it says. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop to it. So this script uses a combination of dot modifiers, like these guys, or line modifiers, like all of these shooting through, excuse the traffic, in conjunction with 4 different shaped letter stems. So our first stem is this deep divot shape, which does not actually show up in this design. And then there's a circle inside the word circle stem, which is like this stem. So this is the word circle. And then this stem is our consonant stem. That's shaped like this. And then we have another one here. And then our most common stem in this design is a shallow divot, like these guys. And they're here. And then last but not least, there's a circle on the line of the word circle, which shows up twice. It's this one and this one. And then vowels, they're pretty tricky because they're in different positions depending upon what vowel they are and if they're attached on one of these 4 consonant stems. So they're always little circles. So here's a vowel, 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 and vowel. And an I is one of the trickier vowels, and it starts on the line of the word circle. It's in the base position of an E, which is the same as I and U, and I has a line going towards the center. So if we look at this very first letter, it is a little circle on the line of the word circle, and it has its own little line modifier going towards the center of the word circle. So this first letter is the letter I. I should also note, this is the first letter because this script is read starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. So that's true for the words, which start at the bottom and go counterclockwise. And then it's also true for sentences, which if you're trying to find the start of a sentence, you would look towards the bottom. So this is the first word, and this is the first letter of the first word. So here's the I, and then we have a shallow divot, which is this row, like this shape, and it has no modifier, so that's just the letter T. So IT, and then we have an apostrophe, which I don't have punctuation written on the pocket guide, but an apostrophe is a parallel line, 2 parallel lines connecting from the word circle radiating outwards. So this is the apostrophe, and here we have another shallow divot, except there are some lines ending on it. There's 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it, so the thickness of the lines don't matter. Even though this one is straight and this one is curved, doesn't matter, because we have 1, 2, 3 lines ending on that. It makes it an S, like this. So its is our first word. Our next word starts at the bottom here. Here's our first letter. It has 1 line modifier ending on it, so it's in this column, and it's a circle inside the word circle. That makes it the letter N. So N, here's another little vowel, and it's by itself on the word circle line, so we're going to look here, and it's inside the word circle, making it an O. So N-O, here's another shallow divot with no modifiers, so that's a T, just like this T, so it's not. Here's our next word, bottom of it's here, shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it, just like this S. So this is another S. Here's another T. Even though this line passes through it, it doesn't end on it, and only lines that end on the letter stems count. So this is just a T, but it has a vowel on it, and because it's part of this stem, we're going to check the vowels here, and it's like a beat on the string of that T stem, making it an O, because O's are these inner ones here. So T-O, and then we have a double line. So this double line on the letter stem means it's a double letter, and because these lines are the same thickness, the outer circle and the inner circle, that means it's the same letter twice. So consonant stems, if stacked, you read thin to thick, and same thickness is same letter, so this is the same letter twice. So we have 1, 2 lines ending on it. So it's in this column, and it's a circle inside the word circle, so that's a double P. So S-T-O double P, and then we have an I line going towards the center of the word circle, because this one is radiating outwards. This one is going towards the center. So, yeah. I. And then we have an NG with 1, 2, 3 lines on it, like that. So, stopping. And then our last word, bottom of the word circle, has 1, 2 dots, making it a Y. Then we have an O inside the word circle, just like that word circle. And then last but not least, we have the letter U. It's a lot like an I, except instead of the line going towards the middle of the word, it's going away from the middle of the word. It's going outside. So that makes it a U. So it's not stopping you. It's how you read this design. Okay, so those things I pointed out, these thicker lines in the center, are all super important for reading it. We don't want to have any lines touching these thick lines, because then they would count on stems and change what letters you have. For example, if we ended a line here on this shallow divot, it would turn this T into a V, which would change the whole word. So don't touch any of these thick lines, but this thin line going around the outside isn't actually part of the translation. And these lines coming out from it, as soon as they get past that thin line, as soon as they're done touching and ending on whatever they're supposed to end on, it doesn't matter what happens to these lines. So you can cut these lines off and overlap these lines. As long as they end where they're supposed to end, we're good. So as long as this big long line goes through this but ends on the little circle, we're good. So yeah, and then there's the rough sketch going around the outside of it, which is the tattoo artist's sketch, which I'm assuming they're going to refine and do as a much nicer drawing, a bit less sketchy. And they're welcome to redraw from the image I sent, which doesn't have these sketches in the background, and it's just the straight solid lines from my digital design. They're welcome to do another sketch over that. But anyway, that's that design and a little bit on what is the most important parts of how to read it. So yeah, I hope you like it. Bye.